Have you ever wondered what it feels like to live like a billionaire? Private jets, personal chefs, luxury spas, the works. But here's the twist. Today I'm going to try to experience the billionaire lifestyle with just $10. Sounds impossible? That's exactly what I thought too. But what if it's not really about the money, but about the mindset? Most people think wealth is about having more. But what if real wealth starts with how you see the world? Stay with me, because this video is not just an experiment. It's a challenge, a mindset reset. It's about stretching $10 not just for survival, but for style, intention, and peace. So here it is, $10, one day, and a billionaire mindset. I started the day early, really early, 5:30 a.m. That's not normal for me. But when I studied the habits of the super wealthy, I noticed something. Most of them guard their mornings like gold. So I thought, why not try the same? I didn't check my phone. I didn't scroll through news or social media. I simply sat still, in silence, for 5 minutes, just to breathe. It didn't cost anything, but it changed how my day started. Then came breakfast. I made a smoothie with banana, oats, peanut butter, and water. Just $1. But here's the difference. I didn't eat it while standing in the kitchen. I sat at the table. I used a glass I usually save for guests. I even lit a candle. And I played some soft instrumental music in the background. That's something I noticed about the wealthy. They create experiences. They don't just eat, they dine, even when they're alone. So I decided to give myself the same kind of attention. And it made something simple feel special. After breakfast, I pulled out a notebook and started writing. Not a to-do list, but real goals. Long-term things. The kind of things I usually say I'll get to someday. And as I wrote, I realized how rare it is to sit and think about what you truly want. No one interrupted me. No notifications. Just me and a pen. And the question, what does a rich life look like to me? Not just money, but meaning. Then I meditated 10 minutes. Guided. Free app. I closed my eyes and listened to my breath. And when I opened them, I felt calm, clear, focused. And again, I hadn't spent a single dollar more. Around mid-morning, I wanted something indulgent, something that felt like a treat, but I couldn't afford a spa, so I made one. I filled the tub with warm water, added salt and some drops of oil I found in a drawer. I put on a relaxing playlist and turned off the lights. Just me, warm water, and stillness. And it hit me. Comfort doesn't always come from money. Sometimes it's about being willing to pause. I sat there and thought, how often do we rush past moments that could be beautiful just because we don't slow down? When I got out, I felt fresh, recharged, and ready for the next phase of the day. For lunch, I spent $3 on a sandwich at a local bakery. Could I have bought fast food for less? Sure, but I chose quality. Something fresh made that day. And instead of eating on the go, I walked to a quiet park nearby, found a bench, sat under a tree. I didn't scroll. I didn't rush. I just ate slowly, watching people walk by, birds flying, kids laughing in the distance. Here's the strange part. It felt luxurious, not because of the sandwich, but because of the moment. Time slowed down, and I realized that's what a lot of people pay for when they become rich. Not more stuff, but more space, more freedom. I still had some time and energy in the afternoon, so I decided to do something bold. I walked into a luxury car dealership. No, I wasn't pretending to buy anything. I was just honest. I asked for a brochure, and I asked if I could sit in one of the cars. To my surprise, they said yes. There I was, in a car that cost more than some houses. And for a moment, I didn't think about the price tag. I thought about how it felt, the texture of the seat, quiet inside the cabin, the way everything was designed to be smooth, clean, effortless. And it made me think, maybe the purpose of luxury isn't always to impress others. Maybe it's to remind yourself what's possible. I left that dealership with a weird sense of inspiration, like I had seen a version of my future I hadn't dared to imagine before. Not just because I want the car, but because I want the freedom to choose it if I wanted to. Next, I walked into a luxury hotel. Not to stay there, just to sit. I walked into the lobby, found a quiet corner with soft lighting, and opened my notebook again. I started writing ideas, not business plans, just thoughts, things I had never made space to explore before. No one asked me to leave. No one even looked twice. And that was the moment I realized confidence opens doors. And many of the nicest places in the world are more accessible than we think. Evening came, and I used the final $5 for dinner. I bought pasta, garlic, tomatoes, and some herbs. At home, I boiled water, sautéed the garlic, chopped the tomatoes, and added some olive oil. It smelled amazing, and when I plated it, I took my time. I didn't eat out of the pot. I used my best plate. I poured water into a wine glass. I turned off the overhead light and lit a candle. Dinner felt like a celebration. Of what? Of being present, of trying, of proving that richness isn't just about what you own, it's how you live. I ate slowly. I reflected on the day, and honestly, I felt peaceful, light, full, not just from food, but from experience. So here's the question. Did I live like a billionaire? Well, not in the traditional sense. I didn't fly in a private jet. I didn't buy designer shoes. I didn't hire a personal chef. But I did live with intention. I gave attention to the small things. I created space. I allowed myself to imagine more. And that made me feel rich. Not in my bank account, but in my soul. And maybe that's what we're all chasing. Not just financial freedom, but emotional wealth, mental peace, time, choice. So let me ask you this. What could you do today with what you already have to feel just a little richer? Could you wake up a bit earlier, eat slower, write down your goals, take a walk without your phone, use your best dishes even if no one's watching? You don't need $1 million to live beautifully. Sometimes all it takes is a decision, a shift, a new lens. If you made it this far, thank you. You didn't just watch a challenge. You joined me in a new way of thinking. And I hope, more than anything, that you walk away from this video feeling a little more powerful, a little more intentional, and a lot more capable. Don't forget to subscribe if this spoke to you. Share it with someone who needs this reminder. And remember, wealth doesn't always start in your wallet. It starts in your mind.